Live on WFLA Now. This is Run for Fun with running enthusiast Lee Spann.
All right, let's go. Welcome back to the Stream Center for this week's episode of Run for Fun. Now, this show focuses on ways to keep running and walking an enjoyable, long-lasting part of your life. We show you reasons to slow down and relax during your run so that you're ready to get back out there and keep showing up, because that's what makes you a stronger runner, the consistency. So I'm your host. I'm meteorologist Lee Spann here at WFLA in Tampa, but I'm also an avid runner, and I can remember the shift my running took when I went from running the same speed for every run every day to easing off more and changing up that speed and sort of learning how to relax and enjoy it. And I know that has made all the difference. And of course, the person who has taught me how to do that, Coach Maria. Good morning, Coach. Coach and I got to have some actual fun, not just running fun together this weekend.
Oh, we got to go to a wedding, and I got to dance with Lee. It was fun.
We had a lot of fun. It was a beautiful wedding right on the banks of the Hillsborough River, so we were glad that we got to celebrate our friends as they got married on Sunday night.
That was fun. It really was.
It was. And I just kicked off our BDR week.
Yeah, for sure. It's race week.
It is race week. We want to talk about, let's see. So we have our Strava group. We always talk about the WFLA Run for Fun Strava group. We've talked about it. The Strava is a free app that you can download on your phone so you can kind of keep up with your runs and your walks. But then we use it as a kind of a meeting place for our 271 WFLA Run for Fun members. So just find the clubs, find the groups, and you can find WFLA Run for Fun. And then at the bottom of that, you see Run for Fun runs BDR. And so that is a very fun race experience. So it is this Saturday. So we were just saying we've been training people for 12 weeks.
Yeah, I know.
It
crazy,
is
right?
BDR week. So let's talk about Saturday. What can people expect if they want to come out?
If you want to come out, my tent will be there. I'm going to try to be there around 6:30 a.m. So if you want to come you want to come down to the tent, I will be all over the place, I'll tell you, because I'm always volunteering and I've got runners out there. So I'm yelling and screaming on the course. So
she's a coach, remember.
It may be difficult to find me, but I am going to do a warm up at 6:40 a.m. Meet at the tent. If you want to warm up with me, I can do some drills. We're going to go on a little jog. I think it starts at 7:05.
I don't know exactly. Oops, I
think it starts there, but we will have you ready to go by then. So just make sure, your bib's on and stuff when you show up because we're just going to go.
And when she says warm up, it actually, you're warming up your muscles. But remember, the weather is going to play kind of a role on Saturday because it's going to be colder than what most Floridians are used to.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a little bit on the breezy side.
Yeah. And we will talk about that a little bit more in the coach's drill. But when it's windy, you can't fight the wind. Wind is just like hills. You have to kind of play with it a little bit. You don't want to, fight it. You're going to have to slow your pace up a little bit.
All right. So we'll all be out there running. This year, they're actually doing the 5K, which is 3 miles, basically, the 10K, which is a little over 6 miles, and the half marathon. All of us will be running the streets of Safety Harbor together on Saturday morning. So leave yourself plenty of time to get there and park, because parking is a little bit of already a little bit of a strain on Safety Harbor. So just suck it up, get up super early, get there, enjoy. You can sit in your car if you get there really early and just kind of keep.
Parking is a problem, and you don't want to be that person that's like honking for runners to get out of the way so you can get there, right? So
you don't want to be that person.
So leave enough time, and hopefully we'll see you down there at the tent. And if you don't see me right away, Lee will be around. I know Lee's racing too. And then after the races, I'll try to get back so that I can be at the tent so I can, see you guys.
And BDR is known for the party afterwards.
Yeah, stick around.
They don't call it the best damn race for nothing.
Yeah.
That's BDR stands for.
Yeah, and come see me and tell me how you did, because I always love to hear. It's my favorite thing.
And put it on Strava. Let us know, because again, we use this more of a social media. So this is the place that you should go and post your results. Talk about your experience. So we're excited about that. And then, so again, that's coming up. That's the official race look. So I think you can still register.
Yeah, I mean, Beth did tell me the numbers are getting close to full. So register quickly if you can, if you haven't done that yet.
And then on the day after the race, you may be a little sore, maybe, and so that's why we're going to bring in Yolanda Wilson-Strudwick. She is a licensed massage therapist and this a delight to be around. So Yolanda, tell us a little bit about how you found massage therapy in your life.
Actually, I was an esthetician. And as I was massaging the clients after you put the mask on and everything, people were like, oh my God, you need to go into massage therapy. So I was like, okay, let me just check into it. And when I got into it, I loved it. Thought that I would want to be in a spa, but once I got into the medical realm, I was like, this is my calling.
And so, because you work with TGH, Tampa General Hospital, and what kind of clients come to you?
We actually work on the nurses and the doctors, but I am got training in lymphedema, so now I go into rehab and I'm helping with the lymphedema clients.
Oh, wow.
And also with breast cancer clients.
So do you do lymphatic massage?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
So tell me what that is, because I don't know what that is. Because apparently Maria thinks it's going to be very good.
Well, it's a very gentle massage, but if you have swelling, what they're finding is a lot of people that have had surgeries in their abdominal area, your lymphatic system starts to slow up, so you get the swelling in your appendages. So what I do is I go in and I kind of help that lymphatic fluid flow.
And this is something like a separate training that you had to go through? Okay.
Yes.
So that's sort of one of the reasons why I told you that we wanted to bring you on, is because a lot of people, me mostly, when I say a lot of people, I often refer to how I feel, is that there's like one type of massage. And as runners, we might have to use multiple kinds, including cupping. So let's talk. So that's the one that leaves those marks that everyone's so interested in. As what could that possibly be doing? So first of all, when you see clients who are athletes, what is a better type of massage that can help them with their muscle recovery?
What I like to do is I like to talk to the client and find out exactly what they do, not only athletically, but work-wise. Because what I tend to do is I will tailor my massage according to what you need. So that may include cupping. It may include, I do what they call tool-assisted massage. It may include therapeutic massage. So it just depends on what you need. And I find that a lot of runners don't get their Achilles worked on. That's one of the biggest things. They don't get their Achilles worked on. And when I do work on clients, there's like, I've never had a massage therapist work on my Achilles like you do. But that's an important part of you running. Yeah. You want that to be flexible because you don't want your calves to get really sore, or you don't want to get that tear.
Yeah. The tear. That's, I mean, that tendon can get tighter and tighter and tighter. And it can rupture.
Yes.
Yeah, and when we call it, when people have Achilles problems, I always say it's plantar fascia. Yeah. And it's sore, tight calves.
Yes.
People don't foam roll and massage their calves enough. So
exactly, and the cupping comes into play and what I do is I don't leave the cups stationary. I like to move them because. As you're moving them, a lot of times the cups will stop, and that means there's something going on under there. So what they feel that cupping is doing is it's finding what's going on and kind of lifting it up so we can get it out of the body.
Oh,
wow. Can you explain really how it works? What's going on there?
So what I do is I have a plastic cup and I put it on. Well, we use oil versus a lotion, so it can glide. And I glide it over and I keep it moving. But like I said, if it gets to an area where something's going on, it will stop on its own.
Oh, wow.
So I just leave it there.
So cool.
And I kind of let it do its thing. And then I move it. So I do a combination of cupping and hand work. So then I go in and kind of work that area and flush it out.
So is that painful? Because it sounds kind of painful.
It looks more painful than it is. And I always tell a person, let me know if this is painful, because then I can ease the suction. And then once we're getting into it and things loosen up, then we can go tighter with it.
Because I guess I've always understood massage, like you're kind of working out a knot. So that's why I was confused on what the cupping would do, because it's pulling out, like exactly what's happening there.
Yeah, they say it's pulling out what's going on. So it kind of pulls it up to the surface so we can flush it out.
Okay.
And after I take the cup off, I'll do a light lymphatic little flush towards that whatever nodes it's going towards, and then we work it out.
Can you feel where a person needs cupping?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I wondered.
What does it feel like?
It's either tight or you have a knot. And a lot of people think that you always have knots, but it's not always knots. It's a tight muscle, and I can tell. Or if a muscle is striated, which means it's kind of bumpy when I go over it versus it being smooth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How often Maria, do you get massages? I don't get them as often
I
probably
get
as I should.
massages a lot, actually.
Good for you and not good for you.
I'm sorry.
I actually, since 2017, in 2017, I started doing regular massage and I noticed a huge difference in my injury. Like I don't have as many injuries. Not like I had a lot before, but it's just nothing hurts. Now I go, like I was going every other week for a while, and now I go once a month.
And is that something that, a regular regiment?
Everyone should get a massage at least once a month. If you're training, I would say if you're training for a big race, I would say either once a week or every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what have you seen in your clients for when they show up with all the tight muscles and then they get on this regimen? What happens to them as that goes forward?
It's funny that you say that. I had a client, this was a couple years ago. He was training for his first marathon. Mm-hmm. And he was working out and he was noticing he was getting tighter, and Rachel was working with us at the time, and she was like, you need to go get massage from Yolanda. So he started coming in, and when he started, he was just like, I just want to finish the marathon. Mm-hmm. And then as we started going, he was training, he was loosening up. He was like, oh, I want to finish in this time.
Oh, yeah.
And so then he wanted to finish in 4 hours, and he actually did better than that.
Good for him.
So we did it.
Yeah, that's
I take
awesome.
credit for
Of course, you held him together so he could train.
So he was coming every 2 weeks, and like he said, his training got better. He was more flexible. Like I said, I was working the IT band. I was working his Achilles, and he noticed as he was training, he was looser, and his run was more fluid.
And that's what I was just saying at the top of the show. I mean, it's the consistency, the showing up every day that makes you a stronger runner. And if you don't hurt, if your muscles have been properly recovered from a massage, or then you can keep showing up and it can keep feeling good and you can keep getting stronger.
Yeah, and if you have proper massage, you have proper range of motion. If you have proper range of motion, you're less likely to get hurt, which keeps us running. So it's really important to do massage, especially if you're not good about foam rolling.
What did you look at me for?
Yeah, like if you're not good.
No runner really is good at it.
Sometimes I curse my massage therapist because I'm like, that really does hurt sometimes. But as long as you communicate with them, they're very, very good about tailoring things, because it shouldn't be so painful that you don't want to go.
Right.
Exactly.
That's not, like, some people brag about how painful their massage is, and I'm like, well, I mean, some deep tissue can be kind of painful, but be careful with that. Like before a race, don't do deep tissue massage before a race.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So, Maria, while in the training schedule, is there a better day after a hard day, before a hard day? When should you schedule in the massage in your training?
Definitely after a hard day. That's definitely a good time to do it. And make sure when you're doing massage, make sure that you're drinking extra fluid that day, because part of the massage process is getting the lymphatic system working and flushing out toxins and stuff like that. So if you're not drinking extra water with the massage, it just stays kind of stagnant and you don't get the benefits as much. So you got to drink more water. If you're going to get one before your race, make sure it's early in the week. Like now would be too late, I would say. Like if you have a Saturday race, I would do a massage on Monday. So your body has time to recoup from it and, rehydrate and all that stuff. And then right after the race is the best time where you'll, reap big benefits from that.
And I see that, Yolanda, you are nodding your head fiercely about the drinking the water afterwards.
Yes, definitely drink tons of water, and we tell people all the time, drink your water, because you want that fluid to flow out. You want because sometimes when muscles are tight, your fluids slow down, so you want them going. And I was going to say, with the deep tissue, you definitely don't want it to hurt, because the lymphatic system is so superficial. When people brag about it hurting or I was bruised or whatever, that's a definite no-no. And you definitely want to tell your massage therapist that's too deep, and they should listen to you.
Yeah.
And
some of us have a different pain tolerance on that.
And that's the thing, too. I tell everyone has a different pain tolerance, so everybody's deep is different. So you have to be in communication with your massage therapist, and they should listen. But I think a lot of massage therapists were taught just go in deep no matter what.
Right, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, they were just, and I don't know where that came from, but doing the lymphatic training, I've learned, and now I usually try to start out and people are like, go deeper. And I'm like, let me do my job. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I
can
also
totally
that to
see
people.
that.
Let me do my job.
Yeah. So I just try, because first of all, I want to feel where you may need me to focus on. And then I like to go in. And if it's too painful, let me know. And I'll work on the area a little more. And then once it starts to loosen up, then I can go in deeper.
And if you're sore, like a lot of times I go in there, after a leg workout or something, and I go in knowing, oh man, this is not going to feel great, especially in the calves. When my calves are tight, I'm like, it's sore, but actually I always feel better afterwards. So
now, if someone were to be a very good foam roller, is the massage itself as necessary? Would you?
Massage is always necessary, in my opinion. The only time some people just can't afford it, and that's like, I do understand that. So if you can't afford a massage, then we have, the tools. The Hypervolt is inexpensive, long term.
Long term, yes.
Or foam rolling. Foam roller is really inexpensive, and most people can afford a foam roller.
And you can go on like YouTube
there's YouTube videos on how to do that. Cody has some foam rolling classes at his store, St. Pete Running Company. They have a lot of foam rolling classes. So just find somebody that can help you with the foam rolling. I would suggest, if you can't afford a massage, regularly, do the foam rolling and then try to go like once or twice a year at least. So you have some professional really working on you, because they can do things that you can't. They can get in areas that you can't, and they can work through things that you can't even really find. So I suggest at least going, 3 times a year if you can.
And then what is the, if someone were to come to you for the first time, is, okay, I'm a runner, what would be, the first thing that you would ask, the questions that you would ask?
I would ask them, how often do they run? When's the last time they had a massage? Do they stretch? Do they work out? All these things are important. And again, like I said, what do you do for a living? Because a lot of times most people are sedentary other than that. Excuse me. So there's a muscle in the butt called the piriformis muscle, and a lot of people associate that with sciatica, but it's actually piriformis syndrome. So you may get the pain down the leg or the pain in the hip or low back pain. And when they tell me those things, the first place I go is to the glute, and they're like, "But that's not where it hurts." But then I'm massaging, it's like, oh my God, that loosened up. Yeah. So just knowing these things, and also the psoas muscle is another one that a lot of runners don't get released, and that's in the front. It connects in the front and goes to the back. And when you're running, a lot of times it's short, and especially if you've run for a long time and you've never had it released. That can be painful, so we breathe through it.
Through it.
We do it a little bit at a time, but that's another one.
So really weird to do that.
Yeah, so I would say the psoas, the piriformis, and the Achilles are like the ones that I really focus on, and the IT band.
And then,
and I've had all of those things.
I was going to say, then what happens if you don't end up getting those released, Maria?
Well, eventually you can get IT band syndrome. They call the piriformis situation cranky butt in our business, because it is really cranky.
I think that's what I have.
Yep, I would agree.
To sit on a little massage ball if I have to sit longer than
if you have to sit and rotate on something hard and it feels better when you're done, that's probably piriformis.
So you need
I need to come see Yolanda. What day are you free? Because interestingly, I bought this little massage ball that has a base for basically for flights, because you can't really get up and move around. And I just gave one to our friend Hank, or told him to get it, and he just texted me that was a game changer for a flight. So he apparently has cranky butt just like me.
That releases
we're
it.
So cranky.
Yeah, that does release it.
Yolanda is going to have some new clients.
Yeah, it can be really painful if that gets bad. IT band, if you keep running on it, it will get so painful that you can't run in the side of your knee. It will be so painful.
Yes.
So the side, because people often talk about runner's knee, but there's 1,000 reasons why. You would never think, people would never think, oh, my knee's hurting, it's because of my IT band. But everything is connected.
Yes.
And you're really not supposed to foam roll your IT band either. You really need a massage therapist to go in there and work on that. You're really not supposed to foam roll right on that. It's really from tight quads. So you really want to foam roll all 3 heads of your quad, which a lot of people don't do. So
a lot of people. I see you looking at me.
Yeah, I'm looking at you.
But it's also again having someone with a license who knows where those muscles are, where the connections are, is way better in the long. I mean, not than foam rolling. You're trying to get it, but you don't know exactly where. And there's not. You're not. I feel like Yolanda might know
and I
more.
do a neuromuscular, so I'm like with my thumbs focusing in on that area to really like loosen it up. Whereas a foam roller isn't going to get there.
Right.
It's actually like a little bit too abrasive.
It is.
The foam roller, yeah. But I would also argue if you're worried about money in massage, think about the fact that if you don't do it, you're going to spend a lot of money on injury care when you're at that point, because that costs a lot more money to go to PT and have to fix everything, and then they're going to tell you to get more massages anyway. So
Yes.
So maybe try to figure out less Starbucks.
Yeah.
More
right
massage.
there.
There,
There you
I'm helping you out, Yolanda.
there
I'm
you
trying
go.
to help you out.
And I actually, at Tampa General, we are now, the fitness center is opening up to the community.
Okay.
So our prices,
cool.
you can't beat our prices. Our prices, it's $22 to be a member of the fitness center. And with that, you get a discount on our, you get a discount on our massage therapy. So a 50-minute massage is $40 for.
Oh, wow.
That is
That's such
really
a deal.
good.
That's a really good deal.
Right.
And then I found it very interesting earlier when you were introducing, what you do, that you say you actually work on the doctors and the nurses. Now, there are people who are also on their feet, moving
the
around all
time.
day. So you see similar conditions, cranky butt with that too.
A lot of upper. That's
Oh,
where
really?
the upper butt. Yeah, because they're either moving patients or on the computer a lot. So a lot of neck, head, and I work on a lot of people that have chronic headaches, and that's from the tight traps that connect up here. So I've worked on them, and they come in and they're like, this is so much better than going and getting the shots or something, because massage therapy helps. Our bodies are meant to heal naturally, and we just aid that and help it heal naturally faster.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
They're also meant to run too.
They are meant to run.
We're meant
Born
to
to
run.
run.
We are meant to
Yeah,
run.
you two are born to run. Yeah. I speed walk. I'm not running.
I think speed walking is great, Yolanda.
Speed
We had
walking
that whole
is-
conversation.
We talk about that that can be a very healthy
Yeah,
way to stay
absolutely.
active and have fun.
Yeah.
And
But I'm
not-
actually going to start a walk group at Tampa General.
I love it.
Yes. Do
Let us
love-
know, and then we'll have you on to talk about your
Sounds
your
good.
walk group.
Yes.
So Maria, we are getting ready for BDR,
Yep.
and you wanted to talk real quickly about pacing for it.
Yes.
And we're going to have a whole show. We'll have a whole episode on this, but we want to talk to the people specifically who are joining us on Saturday in Safety Harbor, and it's going
Yeah.
to be part of Maria's coaches drill.
Can I do it in 1 minute? This
Let's
might be
see
a little.
how-
This might be a little hard.
Let's go.
What I'm going to say is, you want to first check the weather, and I can tell you it looks like it's going to be pretty perfect weather minus the wind. 42 degrees, which means we can really push it. So, in your time trial that we did, your goal pace should be 20 to 40 seconds slower than that 2-mile time trial. So, and how aggressive you want to be should probably be based on how your training went. If you got all the runs in and you're feeling really strong and you feel like you've gained some fitness, then go for that 20 seconds slower. If you're kind of being cautious, then go for that 40 seconds. Then by mile 3, kind of get into goal pace, and then really push it the last 2 miles. Like don't turn on, the go until the last 2.2. There are some hills, so don't race up the hill like a Florida runner. The Florida runners like to race uphill. You do even effort up the hill, 5 fast steps at the top, and make it up on the downhill. Right? Don't be a Florida runner.
Don't be a Florida runner. We're so unaccustomed to any sort of
Yes.
hills.
Yes.
But in Safety Harbor, they're kind of sneaky hills because sometimes
are.
you don't really expect them, and so they do jump. They kind of do jump out at you. So the main thing is start out slow.
Yeah. Start out slower than you think. If everybody's going by you at the start, just smile inside and say, I'll see you at the finish, because you're going to go buy them. Okay.
6 miles is a lot
Yes,
farther than,
and remember, racing is supposed to be hard. If you haven't done it in a while, or you have, it's supposed to be hard. Our brain protects us from the hard. So if you haven't done it in a while, your body is going to go into a little bit of shock, like, oh, ouch, like what is happening? If you do another one in 2 weeks, it's been proven that you actually will run 1 minute to 2 minutes faster just because your body's accustomed to it. So that's always a good suggestion. We can do another Rust Buster. This is a Rust Buster race, and then do another one in 2 weeks. So also a shout out to my baby girl, because it's going to be her first half marathon this weekend.
Yes, Abby's going to be joining us. Half marathon, a great weather for it. So good for her.
Yeah.
So anyway, we just want to talk a little bit about that, because after, that's when you can celebrate. You can go see Yolanda. You can get you can get your lymphatic system all evened out, because hopefully, as Maria said, racing is supposed to be hard. You probably did tax your muscles more than what you have throughout this entire training cycle.
And when we train for fitness. So we don't go to that well. If you're going to that well in training, then you're not doing it properly. We only go to the well on race day, because it's hard and we can only do it a certain amount of times a year. So go into it knowing it's going to hurt, and you're okay with it.
Yeah.
Just say, this is going to hurt. I can do hard things. It's not a big deal.
Do hard things.
Right? And then, Yolanda, how do we get a hold of you?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm at Tampa General Hospital, so you can call our fitness center, 844-7935, option 4. And if you want to come, you can look at the fitness center and get a 3-day guest pass to check us out. And then once you decide to join, like I said, it's $22 a month. We have no contract, so you can join when you want and end when you want, and then just get on my schedule.
Well, and that's great that something that a hospital is offering this, because it's a less expensive way to stay healthy, that maybe you don't have to go to TGH quite as often.
Exactly.
Exactly. And I do go to people's homes on the side, and if they wanted to reach me, my number is 813-300-7256.
Well, thank you, Yolanda. I'm going to come see you. I'm going to do a lymphatic massage.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I did have abdominal surgery, so I did just a couple of years ago, but it's still.
Because scar tissue continually builds up. And that's the thing. Doctors don't tell people after you have surgery. 6 weeks after, you should start working that area, because your body continually is healing and sending scar tissue. So scar tissue is what hinders the lymphatic system. It hinders your flexibility. So you want to get that flowing and get that worked out. So cupping is great.
Going to see Yolanda.
And cupping is great after a surgery as well.
And will it always leave those circles?
It doesn't necessarily have to, because like I said, I move them around. And if people tell me they don't want the circles, and it was funny because one day I had a client, she was like, oh yeah, let's do some cupping. And she came in 2 weeks later, she was like, I forgot I had a wedding to go to. So she had a spaghetti dress on, and so people were like, what happened to you? Did you get cupped? So people know.
Yeah, I think
people are starting to know. But I have seen people with the marks on in certain places. So
one person came to me and they had heart, and I'm like, oh, I need to find that.
Oh, that's cute.
I know. I thought it was so cute. It was a heart cup.
Oh, that's really cute.
All right. Christmas gift for Yolanda. Find her a heart cup. Well, thank you guys. We hope that people learn how to, their muscles to recover. They learn how to stay healthy. TGH, Tampa General Hospital, doing a great service there. And we cannot wait to see everyone on Saturday at Safety Harbor. You can sign up and walk, Yolanda.
Or you can come do a water stop.
You can just come
doing a water stop.
That would probably be.
You can hand water to the runners.
There
All
we
right.
go.
Well, thank you guys. And we'll see you again next week on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's go.